Hi there, my name's Sean, and I want to talk about Courage the Cowardly Dog. What kind of show is Courage the Cowardly Dog once you strip away Eustace, the farmhouse, the smartass home computer, the otherworldly feel, and even the spookiness? Would a concept like that even work? There's an episode that actually answers that question, and it's not one that you would expect. So, why can nobody remember the last time they actually talked about it? Well, get your bibs ready because today I'm serving up a helping of Cajun Granny Stew.
You're trying to make a stew out of her! And a right good one she gonna be.
In my last Courage the Cowardly Dog video, we covered the first half of this premiere episode and all of the details that would go on to lay the foundation of what was essentially the millennial version of the Twilight Zone. And while it's not necessary, I do recommend checking that video out first if you haven't already. The episode opens in the den of the Cajun Fox, voiced by decorated Broadway performer Paul Scheffler. This makes him 2 for 2 on voicing Courage villains so far, coming on the heels of his series debut as Cats.
Now you're going to learn why no one ever checks out of the Cat's Motel.
Paul Scheffler voices other villains in the show as well, some more notable than others, but each one is unique and horrifying in their own right. The villain with arguably some of the least amount of edge comes from the Cajun Fox himself.
Now, if you don't mind, I got a stew to do.
Who in fact is preparing a stew. A Cajun granny stew to be precise. His selection of ingredients reads less like a traditional Cajun dish and more like an apothecary. From lizard lips to turtle eyes, all the way to elephant ankles. He carefully adds his ingredients into the concoction, revealing his intention to win first prize in some contest.
I can't wait to win first prize for my granny stew.
Probably not too different from your standard run-of-the-mill chili cooking contest, except spooky. And generally speaking, that's about the extent of the spookiness this episode really has to offer.
And one cute little old granny. What? I ain't got one of them.
Realizing that he can't make much of a Cajun granny stew without a cute little old granny to tie it all together, our steep and shimmy-eyed predator sets out to find the final ingredient standing between him and a first-place prize. We find Muriel and Courage enjoying some rest and relaxation, feeding the birds at a park that looks like it was ripped straight out of the Garden of Eden.
Oh, Courage, isn't it grand to feed the birds?
Birds? I don't like birds.
Taking a far departure from the scenic views of Nowhere, Kansas, where the show is typically set, these little glimpses into the world beyond the barren plains can almost feel otherworldly in nature, just by contrast alone.
They always make fun of me.
Muriel falls asleep on the park bench, as the elderly are so fond of doing, and the Cajun Fox can be seen in the vicinity foraging for ingredients.
Now that's what I call one cute little old granny.
Making the most out of the opportunity, Swiper over here makes his move to get a closer look at Muriel.
Hey, man. How you doing?
The Cajun Fox decides that Muriel is suitable for his stew, and Courage is faced with having to ensure Muriel's safety. And that's largely our entire premise for this episode.
I don't know what I'm going to do, but it better be good.
The rest of Cajun Granny Stew plays out more like a Looney Tunes episode, rather than the syndicated nightmare feel that Courage would go on to become. Not to say that the Looney Tunes aspects are bad, or that they're absent from future episodes, but the influences definitely feel more in-world and natural as the series progresses. This early episode is stylistically very much in the vein of Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, or the Tom and Jerry cartoons, where the majority of the animation and episode are the chase sequences and slapstick humor. And these types of cartoons string together these chase sequences as they escalate larger and larger until... Well, I guess generally speaking, these types of cartoons don't really have a logical ending point. The plot lines were pretty non-existent, with typically no other premise aside from, this is the way it's always been. Like cat versus mouse, cat versus dog, dog versus rooster. You know, the natural order of things. Maybe it's the accent, back and forth dialogue, and quippy one-liners, but several points in this episode definitely lean more toward a foghorn leghorn aesthetic.
Now I do take offense, sir. I do.
where Wile E. Coyote, Roadrunner, Tom, and Jerry were born as an artifact of the golden age of American animation, old-school MGM cartoons would prioritize gags and slapstick over any amount of characterization, particularly ones created by Tex Avery. Shout out if you remember watching the Tex Avery Show on early Cartoon Network. Equipped with inspiration from the golden age of MGM cartoons, and with various iconic set pieces stripped away, what we're left with is a pretty straightforward piece of slapstick cinema.
That dog is becoming a real pain in my...
There's no emotional component to pull at the heartstrings, nothing to make the viewer sympathize or relate to the villain. No wisdom is offered at the top of the third act from a wisecracking computer so that Courage can learn how to take on his foe either. What we're left with is pure cartoon silliness and a lot of space for Marty Grabstein, the voice of Courage, to really flesh out all of the wit, sarcasm, and hopelessness that gives Courage his voice and a lot of his personality in these high-intensity situations. Like, a lot of personality. It feels like Courage has so much more dialogue in this segment than almost any other segment.
All right, Muriel. Don't worry about that fox.
Casual fans of the show may look back and think, wait, didn't Courage only have like the core catchphrases and emotive screaming? And no, he genuinely had a ton of one-liners and witty retorts, even if half of them would be fourth wall breaks and straight up jimming the camera.
And I hate to fly.
One chase sequence in particular sees Muriel sleepwalking herself into peril, while Courage and the Cajun Fox are forced to temporarily set aside their dispute in order to keep Muriel safe. Because, well, let's face it, one wrong step would be a fail condition for everyone involved.
I knew she was there all along.
Oh yeah!
With all three on the wings of the plane, the autopilot can only do so much before crashing into a cliffside. Our chase continues as the Cajun Fox recovers first from the crash, securing an unscathed Muriel and making a run for it. Courage manages to trip him up, but the tables ultimately flip when the Cajun Fox overpowers Courage, throwing him from the cliff tops to certain doom. With Courage's fate sealed, the Cajun Fox takes refuge in his den with a cute little old granny in hand. She's seasoned, dressed like a salad, and rolled out like dough as he meticulously prepares her for his Cajun granny stew. Inexplicably through the laws of cartoon physics, Courage's comically long fall from the top of the cliffs leave him smashing into the ground below, through the surface of the earth and into the fox den hidden within. He literally falls hundreds of feet to somehow land at the same elevation he began, kinda like warping through time and space, I guess. The Cajun Fox breaks Courage's fall as a helpless Courage kinda lets gravity do its thing, sending the Cajun Fox into his own stock pot stew concoction.
What's that delicious smell? Is that Cajun Fox stew?
Aside from a brief appearance late into the series, these final moments would ultimately be the end of the Cajun Fox and his Cajun granny stew. I admittedly was going to skip over this episode as I didn't really remember it too well, and it's just not one that really stuck with me over the years. Cajun Fox is just one of those characters who are forever doomed to the honorable mention section of any Courage listicle.
Courage, shall we have some?
No! Fox stew is not for you.
Rewatching it now and looking back, it was never a bad episode. Just a little off-putting with how stripped back a lot of the set and ideas feel within it. And not the same kind of off-putting that Courage is really good at. It's fine on its own, but if this had been the original concept that John R. Dilworth pitched back in 1996, I'm not sure it would have been enough to escape the hellhole circus of the What a Cartoon showcase.
No thanks. I've had enough Cajun for one day.
And fortunately, we'll never have to worry about that. If you enjoy these types of episode-specific breakdowns, I also cover Rocko's Modern Life and The Angry Beavers, so be sure to check that out if that's something that interests you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Hey there, dog. What you want? Hey, come back here with that salami.